warned a mom her reckless kid could get hurt at the stable. Now her husband's on a rampage, setting fires and injuring our horses. I-25F work at a stable, and on Saturday mornings we have beginner groups for kids learning to ride. These lessons last about 1.5 hours, and both the kids and their parents attend. During the first lesson, I teach 3 critical safety rules that must always be followed. No running in the stables or near the horses. No screaming in the stables. Never ever stand or walk behind a horse. Usually, the kids are great at following the rules, and if they don't, their parents step in to help. However, there's one boy in the group who's been a challenge since day one. He's loud, disruptive, and constantly running around. After the first lesson, I spoke to his mom and asked her to help keep him calm and step in if he wasn't listening. Unfortunately, she didn't take it seriously, and the same issues came up the next week. I even told him that if he didn't follow the rules, he wouldn't get to ride the horses, but he threw a tantrum, and his mom didn't intervene. Today was their 3rd lesson, and I was already dreading it. He seemed worse than usual, and it was really testing my patience. At one point, he bolted full speed toward a horse that had its back turned to him, a huge safety hazard. Before he could get too close, I grabbed his arm to stop him. He yelled, and his mom immediately stormed over, furious that I had touched him. She grabbed her son and started arguing with me, insisting I had no right. I explained that he was putting himself and others in danger, but she wasn't having it. Frustrated, I told her that if he scared a horse and something terrible happened, it would be her responsibility. She was furious, grabbed her son, and left. Honestly, the other parents seemed relieved that they probably wouldn't have to deal with him again. But when I told a friend about the incident, she called me out, saying my comment to the mom was completely out of line. So now I'm wondering, did I take it too far? Update 1 month later. The Monday after everything went down, my boss, the manager of the stable, got a call from the mom. She was furious and demanded her money back for the 3 lessons. I had already explained the situation to my boss, so she told the mom she wouldn't get a refund since she had agreed to the terms when signing her son up for lessons. My boss also informed her that due to safety concerns, her son was no longer welcome at the stable. The mom completely lost it, screamed some shocking things, and hung up. Things were calm for about 2 weeks until they weren't. One morning, we arrived at the stable to find all the ponies had gotten out of their pasture. These ponies are free range, meaning they're outside 24/7. Thankfully, they were just grazing in the forest nearby. At first, we thought maybe a wild animal had scared them, a moose or even wolves which have been spotted in the area before. We checked and fixed the fence and didn't think much of it, but then things escalated. A few nights later, I got a call that the outhouse where the ponies usually sleep was on fire. It was terrifying. Thankfully, the ponies weren't in it at the time, but someone clearly meant to harm them. The pasture is pitch dark at night, so you wouldn't even know they were outside. We immediately installed cameras and notified the police, who suspected it might be local kids, since there had been recent fires in dumpsters and garden sheds nearby. We also took turns staying overnight at the stable. After a week and a half of nothing happening, we stopped staying there. Then, just a few days later, I arrived in the morning to find cuts on some of the horses. Someone had snuck into the stable at night and deliberately hurt them. I was horrified. My colleagues and I called the police and reviewed the camera footage, and you won't believe this. The person on the footage was the husband of that angry mom. The police arrested him, and hopefully justice will be served. It's been an exhausting few weeks, but I'm okay, and the horses are on their way to recovery as well.